It's all by sight and sound.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, and this is probably, I probably got a little heavy-handed, but we're going to be doing a lot of different kinds of cuts, so that'll be all right. You can hear it sounds a little bit sloppy. It's a little slurpy to my ear. So we got a cut there. What we'll do is we'll run the carriage down there. There are 5 rollers on this press. There's a big roller that's underneath the bed of the press that drives everything. The 2 rollers at the bottom are rubber rollers. Those are the form rollers, and those will put the ink on the face of the type or the line art. These rollers are here just to move everything around. This is a ductor roller or an oscillating roller, and that just goes back and forth. The same way if you're painting a wall with a roller, you don't want to just go up and down and then step over and go up and down. Things are going to look bad. So if I was doing a run of 100 of these, I'd always be taking ink from this section, and this roller brings ink back in from the outside. There's no ink fountain, so it's just the amount of ink that I have on the surface of all the rollers. So I need to have the proof that you've signed off on, and I'll take that here or hang it over there, so I'm always monitoring the color. So there's always a little bit of difference from print to print in the color. The graph kind of goes like this. You start out at the perfect level and it diminishes a bit, and then I add ink, and then it diminishes a little bit. So for the the big poster with all the tulips on it, sometimes I'll be adding ink every 5 prints to make sure we're staying in the zone and the color zone that we want. So this carriage will travel down the press. This is the bed of the press. This is the foot of the bed, the head of the bed. The piece that you're printing is called the form, whether it's a gathered body of handset type or a photopolymer plate. That's the form. So what I do is I lock the form in the bed with the furniture and cause it to kiss the sheet. And then, depending on what kind of impression I want to leave, I'll give it a harder kiss or a softer kiss. So tell me I'm not having fun here. It's all on my own.
I can see you doing a press okay over the phone. I'm trying to give it a really hard kiss, but I guess you don't do that.
So run that down like that. Got a foot pedal here that'll bring up the gripper fingers. I'll put my piece of paper in up against the register pins. That'll give me those give me a little micro control. So if things aren't quite straight or they're not registering, I can tip the sheet a little bit. And then up against the side guide here, which also moves back and forth, either in large, I can move the whole thing or I can move it just a little bit. And then the tapes here will hold everything down as I send the carriage down the press.
So does it imprint it once or twice?
That's a good question. It prints it once, and if you look, there's a set of cams down there, or there's a rail that something moves across and changes a cam that lifts the whole cylinder, the impression cylinder, up a little bit. I can also do that like this if I want to put some ink on the block without printing on the cylinder.